Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with our patch 4.3 rundown, and it's of course a pretty huge patch. Now I'm gonna have to apologize a little bit in advance because I've got a little bit of like a cough and a sore throat here, so hopefully it doesn't affect the video too much. But yeah, let's jump straight into it. So first up we got of course the new champion, Nyla, who's a melee range ADC. Of course, I'm really excited to try her out and definitely going to be making videos on her, in the coming days and weeks. Next up is a new WoW Pass that is already out now as I speak. It's on Dream Raider Thresh, and a small note is that the WoW Pass format has changed to the old one, where you have your rewards go until level 75, and you can get the tickets all the way up to level 120. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and if you have the WoW Pass, you can just scroll all the way to the end and you guys can see what I mean. And there's a new like gacha in the WoW Pass Emporium to get like the new, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the new effect whenever you kill someone, or like the kill announcement kind of effect. So there is that. We have the new rank season coming out on, okay, here honestly it says the new rank season is coming out on July 18th. But in reality, this is the same time as this, and this is already in the game because I'm recording this video like an hour after the update is out. I've already got into the game, and I've already gotten this new WoW Pass, but the rank season is still like 22 hours from resetting. So I think that this is wrong. I think this is July 19th. 0001 UTC, I think. So it's gonna be another full day before the ranked ladder resets. So there's a new tag duel mode that of course is gonna be releasing together with the Soul Fighter event on July 21st. And it's until August the 7th. And it's basically a new game mode where you can choose 3 champions and you can swap between them, and your health is shared, and it's a 1v1 kind of game mode. So it's gonna be like pretty fun because it's a completely brand new game mode for the event. So probably it's gonna be pretty fun. Probably a lot of mechanics based because it's a 1v1. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fun. There is a new gacha to get the Soul Fighter skins. More specifically to get Draven Special Edition. For this one though, honestly I did the calculations on how much it costs to get any skin, and I did this assuming you roll 5 vouchers every single time. Even if you roll 5 vouchers every single time, which is the worst roll and the most common roll at 88% chance, the normal skins here, which means that the Yasuo, Zinjao, Irelia, Draven, and Nyla are still cheaper to get than if you buy them outright in the store, especially for Yasuo. Because Yasuo you need 15. If you get 5 vouchers 3 times and you buy Yasuo, you're actually getting a 190 wild core discount. So you'll probably see me doing a video on doing the gacha for this because I'm planning on picking up Nyla and maybe Draven, or we'll see what else happens and how good my gacha luck is. I have never gachaed in Wild Rift before, so we'll see what happens when we do the gacha. But basically the skins are cheaper if you get them through here. The only kind of catch is that if you, for example, go for Nyla, which costs 12, and you get 5 vouchers 3 times, which is very likely, you're gonna have 3 vouchers left over. Although you can use that 3 vouchers to get like an emote, a bauble, or a pose. So overall, it's still cheaper combined. But if you don't want the border or the pose and you only want to buy one skin, probably just buying the skin outright would be better. I'm gonna explain more of this when I make that video. So of course, Soul Fighter event is coming on July 21st, together with like the release of Nyla and the new game mode and the gacha, all that good stuff. Now, champion changes, we really only have like 2 here. Not sure what happened to the Janna change, but it's either not in the patch notes or it's not out yet. Same for like the Annie change. Anyways, Ornn, his passive where he gets additional health, armor, and magic resist is getting nerfed pretty significantly. You can see at every rank that it's getting nerfed by quite a big percentage, 4% at base rank, but a whole 7% at max rank. So of course this is what was making Ornn extremely tanky. If he got like somewhat ahead, he became like impossible to kill. He was so tanky, and I think that this is a very appropriate change. His brittle damage on his W is also going down by a couple of percentages. Like I think like 2 to 3% on all ranks. This one is not too bad because I still think that this is gonna be okay. I think that this one is a pretty hard nerf. Soraka is getting a mini rework. The first part is if she hits her Q, she gets a cooldown reduce, and secondly is her W cooldown is going up. However, when she heals allies, you will no longer need to spend your health, so you're gonna spend mana only, and your ally no longer gains the rejuvenation effect, which is the one that basically transfers from your Q. Instead, when you heal allies, if you overheal them, it will become a shield. Now, this is good for two reasons. The first reason is, before you fight, you can actually give your ally a shield, and this will actually allow them to, go into the fight with a shield, which you couldn't do before. Secondly, without paying health costs, Soraka doesn't have to build warm-ups anymore, and she can actually build more like AP items instead, which is like Ardent Sensor and Staff of Flowing Water, instead of having to go warm-up second item, which is amazing. So overall, I think this makes Soraka a lot more stronger. The only concern is mana. However, you'll see later there are new mana boots, so maybe that won't be too much of a concern. Okay, so now, new runes. Now, I'm not going to actually talk about new runes in this video at all because I'm planning to release an entirely different video covering all of the runes. Originally, I was going to do that today, but seeing as, I basically can't talk properly and you guys already had to hear me like, cough and clear my throat, I think I'm going to do it when I feel better, and when people can actually hear me more properly and not have to sit through this. But of course, we don't have a choice but to go through the patch notes now because, we have to serve it while it's hot. And so basically there's a whole revamp to the rune system, a ton of new runes. And yeah, so next up, items. So Dustblade is getting a new passive. It's really similar to the old one. Basically, the main difference is the old one used to be when you're unseen. So now the new one, you don't have to be unseen anymore. It's just your first basic attack. And basically it's just easier to apply and it'll refresh when there's a takedown. So overall, it's honestly roughly the same. Of course, you can reset more because when you get takedowns, it resets. But honestly, it's very, very similar. I don't think it's too big of a change. Now, support items. Support items no longer reduce the enchantment cooldown, I believe. Instead, you get stacks, and for all of the support items, all three support items, there's a new one called Ancient Coin. Ancient Coin, basically, you don't have to do anything. It's automatically going to trigger. You don't have to do anything at all. Basically, you can see every time a nearby minion is taken down, it will grant you 55 gold by consuming one charge and regenerate health. So, now every item is going to regenerate health now whenever you get a stack. So, Sickle's also going to regenerate health over here. And, of course, Relic Shield is going to regenerate health. So, that's the same for everybody. Then, another thing that's same for everybody is you do not engage in minion bounty allocation and you get 50% of the bounty solely, and the bounty from minions taken down be fully provided to nearest ally. So this should mean that ADCs get more gold because I don't believe that this was there in the previous support item. So I think this means that ADCs get more gold. And yeah, so basically this is the AFK do nothing kind of thing, Ancient Coin, where you just basically get gold for doing nothing. Spectral Sickle is the one that you poke with, and Relic Shield is the one, of course, you need to proc and when you attack the minions. And now, it's below 65% health. So it's no longer, the threshold is no longer, I think, like 75 or like 80. It's now below 65. So it's a bit harder to proc because they don't want everybody to be taking Relic Shield. They only want like the people who should be taking Relic Shield to take the Relic Shield. But honestly, I still think that Relic Shield is going to be good for everybody. So yeah. So now, whenever you evolve it into its final form, it no longer has an intermediate form. It only has a final form. All of it is the same. You get 75 gold every minute. So you no longer get like 1 gold every like second or 2 seconds or something like that. And then you gain 1 spirit power. Basically, it becomes a mini Rod of Ages. So every point of spirit power gives you 25 health and a little bit of AD or AP. All of them is the same. Yeah. So no longer having Heron Crescent and Targon's Buckler. That's the tier 2. So there are now new boots. The first big change is you cannot get your enchantment before 6 minutes. Except for this new one, which is a passive. So first up of the boots, we got Boots of Mana. Basically, this gives you ability power, mana restore, magic pen, and movement speed. Now this seems pretty OP. Like having mana restore magic pen and 60 AP on like a 1400 gold item seems OP. I think this is gonna be like the first item for like every mage probably. It's so broken. So then this one is gonna be like the first item for every assassin. It's basically 1500 gold for 8 armor pen, 30 AD, and 45 movement speed, which is insane. Berserker Greaves is like gonna be the first item for every ADC. It's 1400 gold, 15 AD, which is quite a lot less than this 30 AD. I don't know why this one gives so little. 30% attack speed and 45 movement speed. Lucidity Boots is basically the same, but you're now getting health, so health, movement speed, ability haste, and you have a passive to reduce 15% of ability cooldowns. Now, Merc Treads and Steel Caps, now it's really interesting, because you don't have the passive anymore. Like, Merc Treads doesn't have the CC reduction passive anymore, I believe. And Steel Caps doesn't have the reduced 15% of physical damage. Instead, you just get the resistance, health restore, and movement speed. Basically, this means that only tanks are going to build the defensive boots now. Like, carries won't build defensive boots anymore. And then we have Gluttonous Greaves, is basically the same 30 AD, 7% Omnivamp, and 45 movement speed. Now, interestingly for ADCs, I think this is quite good competition against the Berserker Greaves. Because for people who don't need attack speed, or you rather have more attack damage in the early game, I actually think that the Gluttonous Greaves 30 AD is a lot better than the 15 AD you get from the Berserker Greaves. So I think that actually Gluttonous Greaves could be a better purchase, but we'll have to see. So next up, Enchants. Magnetron Enchant is getting longer distance, and you can now cast it to minions or monsters, and you don't have a taunt anymore. Now this is amazing. Why? Because this allows you to do one of two things. Number one, you can go in, and then you can dash back to your minion. So, example, if you can engage using Alistar past the enemy minions, then you can dash back to your minions back to safety. Number two, you can dash to a minion to engage. For example, your Alistar, you're out of engage range, you can dash straight onto your furthest early minion, get into engage range, and engage. Or even better, if the enemy is stupid enough to walk right at your minion, you can dash to your minion, you can knock someone up, and maybe just shove them back into your tower or something like that. So it's a lot of use cases for engaged supports. I think they obviously want more. They want more diversity in terms of what enchantments people take. For now, it's pretty standard. The stasis is pretty much the enchantment everybody takes. The tanks pretty much just take Gargoyle Stoneplate, and that's like majority of the enchantments of the game already. And then supports take maybe Redemption or something like that. So I'm gonna try and make some of the other enchantments a little bit better. So Locket is gonna have the back to not the magic shield, but now it's back to a normal shield, but the shield value is going lower. I think that this is gonna make Locket really strong again, because Locket was really strong last time. Portable is going back to 500 gold, and it's now going back to being a mobility focused item, where magic damage is now fixed. You no longer have additional missiles, and your dash speed is increased to 20. So this is gonna be a mobility focused item. Now, back when it was 500 gold, it was actually very competitive against Stasis, because it was half the price of Stasis and you get a lot of extra mobility. So this could bring Proto Belt back into the enchant meta. Same for Locket and Magnetron, perhaps for some engaged support. So these are really good changes. Now, Redemption will get 50% of cooldown refund if no one is hit. This is the new one, Revitalizing Grail, cost 500. It's Bless active. I think it's supposed to be passive. Bonus 20% effect of heal or shield for allied champions. Where is it? Here. Oh, wait. So it's actually an active. I thought it was going to be a passive because all the leaks said there was a passive. So I guess it's an active. Basically, it's 20% extra heal shield power as an active, which is honestly pretty bad, because just increasing your healing or shield by 20% once every how many seconds, it's not that good. So I think it's the worst version of Protect Enchant, but we'll have to see. So you can only get your enchant after 6 minutes in the game, and this is basically objective bounty. So if you're behind, you're going to get bounties on dragons and towers, and this is going to give you additional gold if you get them to help you come back. And also you can get a larger kill bounty if you're that behind. So Nexus Shield is going to be go down 2 minutes earlier because game times are too long. That makes sense. And Square's Bloom in the base now will attack at only a very specific angle, so as to not have user error basically. And if it's attacked by the enemy, it will immediately die, so you won't get to pop your enemy's vision plants anymore, which is interesting. And yeah, the tail part can now grant vision of Dragon Pit, so you can see if the enemy team is doing Dragon. Yeah, basically that's it. And I'll be releasing a video explaining all the runes, and a different video explaining all the rune builds for ADCs. And hopefully that will be soon, but I can't say when because my throat isn't too good. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video despite all of the coughing and whatnot. But thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.